Hello everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Men of War Condemned Heroes. This is a new premium-priced strategy game, just released on Steam. So this is going for $30 right now, and it's a real-time strategy game based on World War II. And if you notice at the very bottom here, it's published by 1C Company, which is a Russian publisher which has done a lot of like World War II themed games, probably most famous for making IL-2 Sturmovik. It's like a flight simulator. That's been reasonably popular, I would say, over the past, 15 years. And they've released a lot of Men of War games like this as well, but this is the first one that I have actually played. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a history buff, but this is, a period in history that I'm really interested in. So I was kind of excited for this game. It's about the Eastern Front of World War II. So it takes place in, 1942 onwards until the end of the war, obviously, in 1945, after, the Nazis had taken over from Germany, spreading east, and we're now, had taken over most of Europe up to that point, and we're now pushing into Moscow and Stalingrad, and then, of course, I'm doing a terrible job explaining this right now, but this takes place after the Battle of Stalingrad in 1942 and early 1943, when the Soviet armies start pushing back into Europe, and eventually, of course, take over Berlin and the Second World War, at least for the Germans. Of course, there is the whole Japanese and Pacific theater. Anyway, that's the story up to this point in the game so far, but before we get into this, because it's going to be very complicated for me to, actually explain what the hell's going on while I'm playing it, just want to talk very briefly about my impressions. I am incredibly unimpressed with this game so far. It feels like a game that would have come out, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Maybe not 15 years ago. This would be pretty advanced for, 1996. But, just very clumsy, and it's broken in many ways. There are problems I have with the game that, stem less from just being irritated with it and more being like, please let me play you properly. Anyway, let's get started here with single player. I'm going to play the first campaign mission here, which is called No Turning Back, and there's no tutorial whatsoever in this game, which is one of the biggest problems, I think, with it, because there's basically, there's a lot of depth, or a lot of substance, or a lot of potential actions you can issue to your troops, and a ton of micromanagement if you choose to go that route. But the game doesn't really walk you through it very well. But anyway, let's get started here. We'll play it on easy, because it doesn't really matter. And this is as close as we get to a tutorial mission, even though they don't really explain too much. So we are in Ukraine, just for some context, although it doesn't really matter. And of course, we are pushing back towards the west. Now, as we get moving here, we'll be in control of two different soldiers. I'll let this guy issue his orders first. Once our...
There's an MG! Find some cover! Alright,
so we're gonna just click and drag to select the two guys that we're in control of here, and we can use our mouse to kind of move them around the map. So you can see graphically the game is, pretty...
We need to take out that MG before it cuts us to ribbons! Get over behind that stone and hit it with some grenade!
Alright, yes, I'm trying to talk here. You can see that graphically, it's pretty unimpressive. It looks like one of my guys is gonna, die already. Which is the problem that I have with this game, is that it's kind of difficult to micromanage these guys. Go prone! I'll just click over here. There we go, okay. Both of these guys extremely low on health, but we should still be able to survive here. So our guy's gonna toss a grenade in there. I actually issued no direct order to make that happen. He's just kind of doing things on his own. Oh good, my guy has died already. Alright, so we completed an objective apparently. Again, I have no direct control over that apparently. My guys just did it on their own. So now we're gonna try to take over this trench, and basically I'm just clicking on enemies that I want to shoot, and my guy is shooting them. We'll try to take out these guys without getting... Oh god, my guy's almost killed already. One thing worth noting is that I do suck at this game. Let's use one of our, med packs here, our first aid kit to heal up, while our computer-controlled teammates take care of the rest of these guys. So they're gonna toss some grenades in. Honestly, you always start with two people on this mission, and one of them almost always dies before I get to this rock, and that makes my life a whole lot easier, because I don't have to micromanage so much. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying the music in the background, because that does not change through the duration of, I'm not going to say the game, but at least does not change through the duration of this level. So, I am going to use another grenade, but first I'm going to move my guy over here, hopefully outside of the line of fire, and we'll just try to, take over this trench by force. So I'm going to toss a grenade in here, should get this guy to perk up, yep, and that will allow us to get through here. I keep deselecting my character by accident, which is a huge pain in the ass. And then I'm going to get on this machine gun and try to murder this gentleman right here. Oh god, he's turning too slowly. Maybe I should disembark. Alright, we'll disembark from the machine gun. Disembark from the machine gun, okay. And just try to murder this guy, head on. Applied directly to forehead. You can also do things much more slowly and like try to take these guys out with grenades and stuff. I don't play like that. Let's use another anti-personnel grenade. Toss this. Oh god, I've been killed. Never mind. Alright, so that went pretty poorly. Let's do this one more time so I can actually explain the problems with this game. Yes, okay. And you know, hopefully we'll get a little bit more scope on the game, because that was kind of unfair. I just played really badly there. Alright, so we gotta go through this nonsense again at the start. The game just strikes me as like really non-friendly. Like, it doesn't teach me anything.
There's an MG. Find some cover.
Forces me to figure it out for myself. So I'm gonna rush one guy to this rock. Hopefully he'll live on his way there. No, I clicked on the rock. Go to the rock. And smell what it is cooking. Okay, so stand here. Try not to get killed. Okay, perfect. Now we will just wait here, and apparently my guys will probably just toss grenades of their own free will. Maybe not this time. Let's see, let's take an anti-personnel grenade. Oh, he did it, yep, of his own free will. What did I tell you? I don't want to toss a grenade anymore, so we'll deselect that. Took out that machine gun. Again, I have done basically absolutely nothing so far. Now we are going to try to capture this trench. So I'm going to try not to get killed, unlike last time. Why don't we try lobbing like another anti-personnel grenade over here? I don't see now, like, he could throw before, but now he has to run into the middle of combat for some reason. Let's get him back here. Feel bad for that guy. Alright, and we'll... Oh, there's another grenade flying in here. So we'll basically do the same thing we did last time. Run over here and try to take the trench by force. May not be the best strategy, but it's worked for me in the past when I've tried to do this. So we'll just hop down into the trench here. There's only two dudes left. Oh god, maybe you shouldn't run in this far. Oh, that was easy. And we got one more guy. Come on. Just go over here, shoot him in the face. Dirty Nazis. Who likes the Nazis, right? Now, if our AI would actually get here, there we go.
We'll give them a warm welcome. Soldier, get down
pick up some of this ammo. And this is pretty much as much of the game as I've seen so far. It's just been like incredibly repetitive. You know, get behind cover, click to shoot, and try not to be like really turned off by the terrible music that's continually repeating, or turned off by the very poor visuals that look like they are out of a game from like 2005. And also, like, there's so much loss of momentum. Like, I understand that maybe it's realistic, but it takes forever for these mission objectives to happen. So the guy's like, crowds, so, you know, pardon my language, and they're incoming, we gotta stop them, and then it takes like 45 seconds for them to actually get here, so you're like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? Anyway, I think we've repelled the counterattack here. And of course we get a huge pop-in now, because we can actually move forward here. And then we have to capture the next trench, you know. Not really all that dramatic. And not really what I think of when I think of, like, the excitement of the Eastern Front of the Second World War either. Okay, now what we're going to do this time, we're going to control this guy. Oh, he's only got one grenade. Let's get him behind cover, actually. Let's go over here. Then we'll take this dude. Oh, and I keep deselecting my character by... Oh, he's dead. Okay. Well, this is good. I only have one person to worry about now. So what we could do is get this guy to go prone a little bit, because he's low on health. And then get him to heal up. Oh, actually, he does not have any heals. So we will just use this as suppressing fire. And hopefully one of our teammates will, you know, get the bright idea to use some, like, anti-personnel grenades so we can get into that trench. This is actually, like, I haven't had this much trouble with the game so far, just with the actual content of it. Like, I've breezed through this stuff fairly easily. I'm not sure why it's taking me so much time this time. Alright, what we can probably do now is take our SMG infantry here, move him over here, and start to consider taking this trench by force again. For some reason, he's gone prone, even though I didn't tell him to. And we're going to try to murder these guys one by one. There we go, managed to take one out easily. Now, we should maybe use our grenade and toss this over here. No, toss it, oh god, toss it over the trench. Oh, I think I can aim manually with him. Oh, there we go, okay. So I can indeed aim manually with him. But it's a little bit suspect. Let's go back to auto-aim so I can just click on him. Okay, good. So I believe we've taken this trench now. I can search these guys for supplies. Alright, give me those bullets for a gun I don't even have. How about, are there any other corpses over here I can loot? Apparently not. Who's this guy? Where the heck did he come from? Okay. So we'll select our unit again. And I guess we'll just stand here, and this is what I mean by like loss of momentum in the game. So I know what's going to happen. Eventually some tanks are going to come up here, and I'm going to have to destroy them with my grenade. However, we don't know that right now. It's like objective complete, and then we just sit in this trench for like 2 minutes until something triggers and these tanks eventually come up. In the meantime, this like pounding soundtrack just keeping the excitement up and the adrenaline flowing in the background. But for now, I'm just like twiddling my thumbs, sticking my own fingers up my own butt because I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Like the first time I played this, I took my guy and was like, do I have to like cross the river? So my guy was like swimming in the river, and then these tanks started driving up this road, and I was like, oh shit, better turn around. It took him like 45 seconds to swim through the river back down here. Somehow the tank didn't hit me anyway, which was fine, but anyway, here comes the tanks. Finally, hopefully, you know, you took that opportunity to get a drink or something. So let's select our hero here. Of course, you know I'm playing too much Dota 2 when I call him our hero. And apparently these tanks like don't even give a shit that we're standing right here. So what I'm gonna do is enter like manual control mode and try to shoot this tank. I think I just shot the helmet off of my own guy in front of me, so this may not be the best strategy. Okay, here we go. Let's just get some good shots on this guy. If I can just kill him. You can aim manually, but the way you aim manually is bad. Oh, no, sorry, I got shot in the face. Alright, let's reload from where we were. Because I'm not willing to give up yet. The worst part is yet to come, I promise you. And not to make this sound like a poison mushroom video. Oh, I do have control of one more person now, okay. So let's get him to move over here. He has no grenades. So I don't think he's going to do a very good job. Oh, there we go. Someone was nice enough to wreck the turret on this. And then we'll just murder this guy. Alright, perfect. And now we do have one more tank. I'm not sure how we're going to take that out. Because... oh, no. Apparently it's been taken out by somebody else. Okay, now we're going to get to, like, the worst part, in my opinion, of this first level. But it's worth noting, the first time I played through this, the AI actually destroyed the tanks, just like they did that time. But I was not able to actually get, like, the killing blow, and for some reason it didn't recognize that the objective was complete. So I wandered around the map, I took my guy, swam across the river, killed all of these Germans and, like, all of their mortar and artillery and stuff like that, and there was, like, no Nazis left on the map, and I just couldn't do anything. It wouldn't register the mission as complete, so I had to start it over from the very beginning. And, like, those kind of... I don't even know if you call it, like, an engine mistake or a glitch or something, but those kind of problems are absolutely inexcusable for a $30 game in 2012. I mean, like, that's half the price of a normal retail title, and this is definitely, you know, more budget-like than I would say, like, a AAA title. Apparently this is borderline the same as the, you know, Men of War games that came out, like, 6 or 7 years ago, so the price tag to me just seems kind of inexcusable. Alright, so now we're just gonna hop in this tank again. Nazis over here apparently just do not care at all with the fact that we're doing this. So we are going to enter manual aiming mode, and we're gonna try to manually shoot these mortar positions as well as the machine guns so that our remaining company can get across. Now, this is, in my opinion, the worst part of the entire level, because even with manual aiming, this shit is borderline impossible. So you can see I'm aiming here. You can see, like, as I move it, it changes where the expected projectile is going to land. But it's inaccurate, and I think that's largely realistic, is probably the direction that they're going for with this. But it doesn't make for a good gaming experience. You know, maybe it's authentic to a certain degree, but it's non-intuitive, let's put it that way. So let's just continue firing here. We will try to, you know, get some shots off that will actually hit this machine gun. Again, these guys apparently do not care that there are just, like, tank shots firing at them all the time. Like, this guy doesn't care at all. Look at the, like, animation here. These guys aren't even moving. Occasionally they will take a shot at me, but that's it. Let's try to get... oh, come on. That was, like, dead on, that mortar position. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Now, of course, since we are in a tank, we do have, like, a gun as well, like not just this cannon that we're using. So let's take out the gun and try to actually get some shots off here. I gotta fiddle around with the settings to actually get my guy to use it. Yes, someone is calling me right now. That's how you know I am super popular. Sorry, I can't talk. I'm playing Men of War Condemned Heroes. try to take another crack at this. So let's take out our cannon again. Not aim manually. We'll let the computer aim for us. And apparently my guy has chosen to use his anti-aircraft gun now. So we'll shoot over here. Or apparently not. Okay. Let's switch our active weapon again. Try to take some shots. Again, the control scheme in this game is incomprehensible to me, and there's no tutorial, there's no manual. I mean, on Steam I had the option of purchasing this game with the Prima strategy guide, but an additional $20 just to like make sense of what has been an incomprehensible mess so far definitely did not seem like a good value proposition to me. So we're just gonna keep taking some cracks at this mortar right here. If it's boring for you, I assure you, it is also boring for me. Maybe there's some fundamental element of the game I'm missing right now. But for now, I am just, like, frustrated, would be the way I would describe it. Even with auto-aim. Like, with auto-aim, I can't seem to get my tank to actually shoot. And again, maybe I'm missing something here. Let's try it this way. Alright, that seemed to work maybe slightly better. Switch back to our, actual tank weapon here. Apparently, our guy has decided to get out again. Even though I'm constantly selecting, the actual tank shells, they refuse to fire for whatever reason. So let's go back to manual aim and try to do it ourselves, because apparently this is the only way to reliably actually get our tank to shoot. Did we actually kill somebody there? No, we did not. Okay. Try it again. Missed that one too. Maybe we'll adjust this slightly. Maybe we should aim like closer back here. Nope. At least we're getting like lots of sand and rocks in the eyes of our entrenched German enemies here. Like, would it be so bad if it just landed where, the dots say that it would land? I'm sure the colors indicate something, but that is never explained. So you know what? Fuck those guys. We'll try to land a shot on this mortar over here that we can't even see because it's in the trees. And of course, we get that on the first try, just because the game wants to be like, hey, Northern Lion, screw you. And of course, it's going to take us 100 years to land a shot on this, apparently. But I did murder that tree in the background. There we go. Got a good shot there and destroyed that machine gun. And then we've just got these ones over here, which are going to be borderline impossible because it's so far away. That one wasn't close. I'm going to stop this in a second and probably stop the video because, quite frankly, the music is annoying the piss out of me. So let's move this back a little bit, up a little bit. I don't even know where that shot went. You know what? I'm done. I have not had a good time at all with my experience in Men of War Condemned Heroes. I was gonna say, I've spent about an hour on this game total, and I have not even completed the first mission, just because every time I start to get some momentum, the cumbersome UI and the fact that I can't seem to get my head around the control scheme, can't seem to make my guys do anything that would normally be easy in a strategy game of this type. Oftentimes the objectives are unclear, or they just don't recognize when the objectives have been completed. I wouldn't go so far as to say this game is 100% broken, but I do think it is mediocre, and for $30, there are tons more things you could be spending your money on. Even if you're interested, like, very, very interested in this period in history, the game does not do a good job, like, telling you the story or anything like that, and certainly, doesn't make you feel engaged as a member of the Red Army or whatever. Anyway, this has been Men of War Condemned Heroes, currently available for $30 on Steam. Don't buy it! Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.